many, many times. And every single time, and by the way, I've been arrested, I've never been charged with a crime. Sorry, I've never been convicted of a crime. Because every single time I've been arrested, it's come on the heels of cops being aggressive. And the moment I feel a cop being aggressive with me, I go on fucking major offense. Okay, so I'm in LA at my house in Laurel Canyon. I believe we had 8 to 10 friends over having a barbecue. Now, Laurel Canyon is like hippie capital of the US, some would say. It's the origin, I've said it on here before, of folk music that turned into rock and roll music in the 60s and 70s. It's super mellow. It's like the most vibiest, hippest, mellow little canyon in California. So I'm having a dinner party, and I believe we had the music playing inside the house, but we had the doors open outside. And I get a knock on the door, and I open the door, and there's like 6 cops standing there. So immediately in my mind, what is going on? What could possibly be happening in this house right now that there needs to be 3 LAPD police cruisers on my dead-end street? By the way, it's also a dead-end street. So, points of access are very limited. Like, the escape route is pretty direct. You could put 1 car in the middle of the street, and that would close off the ability for anyone to get by. That's how small of a street this is. So right off the bat, I go, okay, this is fucking a little aggressive. How can I help you, officers? We have a noise complaint. Your music's too loud. Okay, hold on. Let me just stop you right there. Are you saying my music's too loud, or are you saying the complainant said my music's too loud? This is where I go immediately, because it's like, did you come up here to escalate this situation, or did you come up here to de-escalate this situation, to investigate this situation, to see what the fuck was going on before you start throwing out statements? Because I'm a pretty literal guy. So if you say to me, while there's 5 other cops behind you, we got a noise complaint, your music's too loud. Is my music too loud? Do you have any proof right now? Are you stating, is that your claim right now, that my music is too loud? So now all of a sudden you got some fucking friction, okay? Because cops don't like to be challenged, right? And they don't like to be challenged on levels of intelligence, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to know right then and there. You just said my music was too loud. Are you saying that because you believe it? Or are you saying that because the complainant called in, who knows who that person is, where they live, what ties they have to me? They could be a fucking Anaheim Mighty Ducks fan for all I know. And they just want to bust my balls by calling the cops saying, my music's too loud. So let's just get some clarity before you come up here with this attitude. So now all of a sudden, okay, boom. Now the cops are now we got an aggro situation. And I remember the cop sort of, bumbling his way through an answer. And what he proceeded to do was he tried to walk into my home. Now, I'm not sure if he was trying to walk in to address whether or not the music was too loud, but there we go again. You just said the music was too loud. Now you're trying to walk into my home without asking me to see if the music was too loud. Like, this doesn't fucking work for me here, bro. Because I own this house and I have rights. And by the way, we're talking about the issue at hand right now is music. It's fucking whether the music is too loud. Is that the type of situation that you think gives you the right to try and come into my home? Now, I'm not a hardo when it comes to the Constitution, but I feel like you do have some rights as a tax-paying citizen, And I do feel like it's inappropriate for a cop to try and walk into my home. So my immediate instinct was, I fucking slammed the door. And when I slammed the door, the cop's foot was in the door. I think, possibly. Whatever happened set off a chain of events that, to this day, is a wild, crazy story. So the cops leave, I guess. Now, I don't know what happened when they left or what changed their mind. But about 15 minutes later, I had more cops at the door. Now, this time I didn't answer the door. I went around to the side of the house where I had a gate. Okay, I had a wire gate so you could freely speak through it to somebody, but I was protected by the gate. You couldn't access the property. Now I'm looking and there's like 15 cops. No joke. So I immediately start laying into them. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And this is where I have faults, you know? This is where I don't handle situations like that properly because I hate bullies. I hate people taking advantage of situations. And I start giving it to the cops. Like, how many fucking cops are here now? Is there enough of you? Are you kidding me right now? There's 15 approximately of you guys for a noise complaint? What is this now? Now, to speed this story up, basically at that point they wanted to charge me. They said, you assaulted a police officer. I think to myself, I assaulted a police officer when? When the fuck did I assault a police officer? Now, you gotta remember, this is pre-body cams. This is like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, maybe 2 ago. So cops weren't wearing body cams at this point. And I have video because my teammate at the time, Aaron Voros, I said to AV, start filming this shit. And we're just like motherfucking, I'm motherfucking the cop. He's talking shit back to me. And what I realize as we're doing this is, okay, they now know who I am. I've got that feeling. I've got that vibe because one of the cops just made some sort of comment. I don't exactly remember exactly what it was, but it was a strong indication of like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. It was like, yeah, you're a real tough guy. You're a real tough guy, buddy. We know you're a real tough guy. It was something along those lines. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm a fucking tough guy. There's 15 of you standing here. There's 15 of you, and there's one of me. This whole situation could have been de-escalated by primarily me if I was the big person, had said, you know what, instead of popped off right off the bat and said, well, is my fucking music too loud? Or said, you know what, officer, I apologize. I apologize that our music's too loud. Because right then and there, I'd be saying, yeah, my music is loud, but I feel like I'm a man of principles. Like, get it right. If you're gonna make a claim, get it fucking right. Or at least believe that it's right. So, next thing I know, and this all happens pretty quickly, next thing I know, there's an LAPD helicopter hovering over top of my house in Laurel Canyon, which, like, sound does travel in a canyon. That's just natural. But there's a fucking LAPD helicopter, however high a helicopter can be over a house with it being safe. And they're on the loudspeaker telling me to surrender. This is where this fucking thing went in a matter of like 15 minutes. So I guess the point of my story and why I went into this whole thing was I'm just wondering where the whole de-escalation of situations comes into effect. Like when you look at soldiers, okay, military soldiers, in my opinion, are fit, they're healthy, they're well-trained, they're extensively trained, you know? And I'm just saying this, I don't know for sure, so I don't want to say that I'm an expert, but I feel like military, the training that goes into becoming a soldier is much more demanding and thorough and longer than the training that goes into becoming a police officer. And I think fitness has a huge component in that. And I don't see many soldiers that are active duty soldiers that are in bad physical health. And when you're in bad physical health, I feel like you get agitated more. I feel like you immediately feel a little bit weaker than whoever you're dealing with. And I think you get defensive quicker because I think subconsciously in your mind, you know you're at a disadvantage. And I think that that's a big thing with the situations that are going on right now, is that I personally think that police across America need to become healthier. I think there needs to be stronger guidelines with fitness levels, because I think, and this is on a, this can go in many different directions. I'm talking to you guys, okay? When we're fit, when we're healthy, our mind is clear. Now, I'm not saying you have to be skinny and lean and have a six-pack, because people have all different shapes and sizes. You know, look at NFL players. There's NFL offensive linemen that are 380 pounds, but these guys are fucking fast and strong and physically fit, as crazy as that sounds. But I think that that's something that needs to be looked at, because I'm not going to get into a conversation about race, because I don't understand it enough. You know what I mean? I don't. What I do know is that when I looked at that George Floyd video, I didn't think